What's up, y'all? Real good here. It's past midnight, and I'm cooking food, and I can't sleep, and I'm thinking tonight might be a long road trip night.
So after eating, I thought there was a chance I was gonna fall asleep. I've been laying around for about 90 minutes. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Let's get out of here.
All right, we're packed. We're in the car. I'm just gonna start driving. Part of me wants to listen to a whole bunch of audiobooks and try to fill my mind full of new ideas, but part of me is recognizing that I'm feeling like I'm at a really cleared out but unclear transitional point in my life where all of the usual characters and sub-personas have all sort of quieted and chilled down into this very low, kind of homogenous rumble. So it's not quite clear and crystallized what's next for me. In a way, it almost feels like an invitation to pass beyond the veil to yet another level of subtlety. And I don't know what's there yet. So I'm feeling called to just be in quiet, drive, and notice what comes up. And of course, I'll be sharing with you on the drive. Let's go. What's up, y'all? This is Random 2A Road Trip. If you're excited, hit that like button. If you want more craziness, hit that subscribe button. Let's get. So we're basically gonna take the coastal highway south. I feel like I'm simultaneously running away from something and towards something, kind of away from the discomfort of uncertainty and sort of a heroic gesture against discomfort toward the unknown, or toward hope, toward a fantasy of value and certainty. Almost like this is practice. Somatically, the experience in my body is mostly fine. If anything, there's a real low-grade anxiety, and when I try to uncover on it, I feel pretty much cleared out. Nothing crystallized or clear. I can find nearly every bit I've ever seen into myself, every lens I've ever used to look at or try to understand myself. I can see or feel. I can find almost any different emotion. Fear, sadness, anxiousness, a bit of joy and hope and excitement, a bit of courage, an uneasiness with unknown, a peace, there's sort of an inner peace, but then there's a secondary discomfort, lack of faith there. And all these paradoxical things, like I also feel faith, I also feel comfort, I feel time and space. So it's leaning into it this way, all I find is this diffuse, again, sort of homogenous mix of everything kind of blended out. I don't feel like I'm suffering any particular character or sub-persona. So I almost feel well prepared for an integration or a synthesis of all these parts of myself, and almost anxiously awaiting some sort of rising and clarity toward what's next. Certainly there's some anticipation, desire, fear, and hunger, and for some clarity and courage and conviction around a path, around a purposeful, meaningful path to really get behind. Also longing for motivation and inspiration. Almost feeling ready and vital. Also fearing sense of fragility and ease and laziness. But certainly there's space and readiness and wanting for clarity and conviction. So here's to it. I'm curious about when you might have felt a lack of clarity, a sort of readiness, turning point in your life? Where were you? What was that like for you? How did you lean into it? And ultimately, what came of it for you? Very curious. Go ahead and share in the comments. If you're getting value out of these reflections, hit that like button. I've been trying to remember for myself periods of time when I felt in transition, and what I did and what worked so that I could share with you. The one that stands out as most recent was a couple of years ago when I was living somewhere else, working a job that I didn't like, and I was in a place that didn't feed my soul at all. I almost felt soul dead at that point. I'd made a great introduction into the career path that I'm ending now, and it was really run out, soul dead. I was worried. At that point, I was depressed, felt crushed, concerned about my life. And I leaned into knowing that this paradise that I live in now was the only place where I definitely never felt depressed and always felt my heart open. I was curious about it, curious if it would still have that effect on me even when I felt so dead inside. So I came to visit, to investigate, to find out. Which in a way is something like what I'm doing now, investigating, visiting, trying to find out firsthand. But so I came and visited paradise. I felt good. Impossible. I felt good. And I went home. And I felt terrible. And so I did it again one more time just to be sure. Sure enough, I felt great. I was amazed coming from the place I lived. I could not stand, I'll let the cat out of the bag, could not stand Orange County. Sterile, soul-crushing for me. When I came to paradise, I was shocked to find children playing, human beings smiling and speaking to each other, seemingly with joy and without agenda. Shocking to me. It's so delightful. So I moved to paradise, and I've never been happier. I keep getting myself into career lines and relationships that don't serve me and that tear me down slowly and that I stick to and don't get out of. But that's maybe another topic. So what's a transition that you've gone through like that? A period of not knowing what's next, maybe having a bit of concern, and what worked for you? For me, in that last example, remembering something that had worked, leaning into it and testing it and seeing it still worked was what I needed. And I was ready to move without a job, without anything. I was ready to give up everything just to be back in a place that I knew was right, that felt right. I can't help but notice that now, in a career context, how right this feels, how right in a social context Uncovery feels. From a psychotherapeutic, healthy intimacy, self-discovery. Yeah, we might have found our first answer together. Let me reflect on this a little bit more. Yeah, hands down, the Uncovery process that I've been working on, practicing, developing, iterating, and running variations on has been the most fulfilling, meaningful, purposeful, rich, high potential thing I have ever come across, ever been a part of, ever been holding in my hand, ready to give to the world. And so confidently do I feel that this has value for the world. I'm absolutely certain of it. That's probably the clearest call I've ever had in my life. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah. I got value out of this. If you got value out of this, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Stick around for more road trip, for more Uncovery, for more real good. This is real good. This has been real good. I'll see y'all again soon. Hey everyone, if you're interested in what Uncovery is, check out some of the other videos on the channel. We've talked about Uncovery. We'll absolutely be talking about Uncovery more in the future. Thanks for sticking with us. It's been real good. I'll see you again soon. Take care.